ready to move on. Turn 2. Before we do that, however, I have a small problem with this mission card we drew, the Arachno Trap. Well, it turns out this card is a misprint. The front text and the back text don't match each other, and I was too lazy to download the correct back and figure out a way to jury rig this card, so I'm just gonna toss it for now and put in another mission card without a typo on it. This is the Overrun wormhole, and since it hasn't triggered yet, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It's going to pop during the installation phase and again during the battle phase. Basically, it looks like an unstable wormhole has opened in the outskirts of this sector and technivores are pouring out. Fabulous! If the wormhole were to implode, it might take the technivores with it. Dun dun dun! Okay, so the Expanse, like it doesn't have enough problems happening, now has formed an unstable wormhole on top of everything else. Good move, not going there. Thumbs up for turtling. Okay, let's move in to the first phase, travel. Game goes first for travel, and we have 2 travel events. Let's resolve the Expanse first, and it says each ship with less than 4 energy will gain weaponry. Okay, that's not a problem because everything here has over 4, so nothing happens here. However, the technivore infestation is going to ramp up. And during the travel phase, we have a deployment. If the sector is overrun, that didn't happen yet, but play the top card of the mission deck in the sector with the most ships. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to pull a 3rd mission and put it into play. This one is, oh my goodness, internodal pheromones. Wow, that sounds sexy. Technivores transmit cosmic pheromones along phasic web to let others of their kind know where more delicious metal is. Manipulate those pheromones to alter their movement. It does have a travel event. It's not going to trigger. Remember, it's going to trigger next travel event. It also has a battle event. So let's stick this into play in that Orthogonos Expanse. And this area is just a minefield of horribleness, all right? We just, oh man, thank goodness we didn't go here. We would have just been destroyed. But as you can see, it's definitely going to be overrun soon. And when it is overrun, the good news is it actually sort of calms things down. And we'll see that in a minute. And these mission cards, they'll flip and be resolved as well. But for right now, crazy, all right? So those were our 2 travel events. Remember, this one won't trigger. So now we get to decide what we're going to do. Not a big decision because obviously we're not going here. Now it's our turn to travel. Before that, we can play any boosts we want. I don't have any. Happy where we are, so we're going to skip the travel phase. Move straight into Requisition. Game goes first. We have 2 events to resolve. First off, this rugged technivore. Remember, he triggers by scrapping one of the tech in a station, and he gains a shield. He is a pain. We need to get rid of this guy. Okay, so we're going to lose this, flip it, scrap it, and add a shield. Next, we have this mission card is going to trigger, and this is the gnawing problem, right? The technivores here are eating their way through the technology at our station decks. So we're going to lose the top card from each deck, flip it, discard it, scrap it, scrap it, and, okay, if any station deck runs out, we flip the mission card. We still have station decks left, so we're okay. We're okay so far. That's all of the red cubes. So now, once again, we can play any boosts we want. I don't think we have any. Let's just go shopping. Let's start with the Conclave. Let's see what she drew up. Okay, 30, 30, 40. Another 100 credits to spend. I don't have any boosts that'll help me in the requisition phase, so we're just going to put this aside now and see what's up here in the station deck for 100. Right, love this, man. When you install this tech, you get to draw a card. It'll boost our firepower by 2. Cost 50 credits though, yikes. We have another tech here. This is kind of a neat one too. It's an internodal mine. When an opposition ship enters this sector, we can scrap this card and take 2 energy off that ship. That's kind of a cool one, but I don't know if we're going to have a lot of people entering our space. We're going to be going to them, I think. And finally, we have a boost. Remember, these are just one-offs. We removed 2 energy from each opposition ship in the sector. However, desperate measures, right? We end up having to remove energy from our ship for every opposition ship left. Yikes. Okay, well, let's go for this one first. Let's spend our 50, take the fine-tuned target HUD, put it on the bottom of our deck. Oops, that was my hand. Just kidding. Bottom of my deck. Confusing. And that reveals energy allowance. Remove energy from your ship. Each other Strike Force ship gains a shield. Again, because there's just 2 of us, these type of benefits that occur when there's more than one of you in space, we're really not going to be able to use those. So let's go for desperate measures. Why not? Why not? I have a feeling, this might actually happen. So that's 90. Ooh, and that's another spendy guy. Okay, so Conclave is broke. She has bought her goodies. Let's see what Vigilance finds. So Vigilance also doesn't have any boosts that are going to help here. And, ooh, yeah, she's a little broke this round. 2, 4, 6, 8. Only 80 credits. Okay. We don't have that cool card that says we get to put it straight into our hand. Ah, well, that's all right. That's all right. It'll pop up again. What do we have? We have another desperate measures. Hopefully things won't get that desperate. And even better, we have shields and weaponry on top here. Ooh, yeah. But I can only buy one or the other. Oh, shoot. So the detonation patch is 50. When this tech is scrapped, you may remove 2 energy from a ship in this sector. Wow, so it has a blowback effect, right? If they blow our shields off, they're going to get hurt. I like that. Hair trigger explosive. When this tech is scrapped, you may remove, again, 2 energy from a ship in this sector. Ooh, I like both of those. I want them both. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm going to have to either go with shields or firepower, but not both. Ah, that's tough. I do have in my hand, though, a piece of tech that will grant weaponry. So I think I'm going to go for those shields. Since I do have some firepower already. All right. Bummer, bummer. Okay, so we'll take the 50. We'll have 30 left. Are we going to get lucky on the bottom? No. Bummer. So this goes, remember, to the bottom of my draw deck here, not into my hand. And we reveal a high tension plate. That's great and all, but I'm broke. I am broke. Okay, requisition phase done. We're going to move into installation phase, and we actually have an event we need to take care of. And no surprise here, the event is happening over in the Exploding Belt, as I'm going to rename it, and it has to do this time with our wormhole. Remember we had that unstable wormhole happen? Well, the event says play the top card of the opposition ship deck in this sector. Wow! And that means I need to make a little room because we have yet another ship coming here. This is a true swarm. What do we have? A vicious Technophore. Oh, great, another one of these. Ah, darn it. Okay, it also has an aftermath effect. Don't have to worry about that yet. But we have reached the magic number in this game. So there is, when we set up, right, it was the number of players times 2. That's how many ships you spawn. There's also something called the fleet limit, and that is the number of players plus 2. Still 4, and we've hit it in this sector. And so whenever your sector hits the fleet limit, you are no longer allowed to spawn ships, regular old ships, in this area. They can move here, all right? So if we spawn a ship in the belt and we're told to move it
into this sector, we can have 5 ships here. It's absolutely fine. The fleet limit is only for arriving ships, okay? One last part of that rule of fleet limit is it does not apply to the arrival of the master ship, okay? When the master ship appears, it appears. It'll appear wherever it wants, irregardless of how many ships are existing at that time, okay? So if we pull a card that tells us to spawn a ship here, we get to skip it. If the master spawns and is told to go here, it comes. Any ship that's told to travel here, it comes. We've just reached our spawn limit, our fleet limit in this sector of space. Thank goodness, because seriously, ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. Okay, but that was our only install trigger for the game. So now we get to play any boosts we like, don't have any, and we get to install. So let's buff up our ships a bit.
All right, we need some help here. Our 2 little pilots are seriously outgunned and outmanned. What have we got? Okay, regenerative tissue. All right, the Conclave is a living ship. It's a bit of a Moya here. And this says it's tech, okay? It's gonna give us shields. And when this tech is scrapped from play, we gain a permanent shield. Oh, now that's cool. Now that's cool. We have 2 of those, so let's get those on for sure. 1, 2, this is great. This is great, because even if we lose these cards, it's gonna go on our actual ship itself. Awesome. More shields. Okay, inspired shields. This is a boost, and we recycle it when played. A ship in this sector gains a temporary 2 shields. So that means we'll have it for this turn only, and then they'll be gone. We have 2 of these inspired shields. I'm not too worried about our Ravenous Technivore. I think we're going to be able to take him out. He only has a firepower of 4. We have shields of 4, so he's not going to do us any damage. So I don't see any reason why we would need to play this. A ship in this sector. Again, this is another ship. This is another card that would be great if we were hanging out together. I'm getting the feeling that Conclave is sort of an assistance ship. Maybe not the best choice to play in a 2-player game, but you know, live and learn, live and learn. So for now, we will merely hold on to these boosts. I don't see any reason why we need to use them. And that's Conclave. She is upgraded and ready to go. Vigilance, next. Now remember, Vigilance is having a little bit of a tougher time here because this rugged Technivore keeps powering up its defense. So luckily, we have a little bit of tech we can install to give us a little more firepower. And it says when you install this tech, you may draw a card. So let's do that. All right. Oh, but I do have some boosts. Okay, wait a second. Remember, I have to play my boosts either before I enter the phase or after the phase. I can't play these in the middle of my phase. So this says remove energy from Vigilance. We gain a permanent firepower and we draw a card. So we have 2 of these, okay? So if we want, we can lose 2 energy, gain 2 firepower, and draw 2 cards. Sounds great, right? But losing 2 energy, well, what will that mean? Well, we're going to lose this shield for sure. And when it gets scrapped, it says we're going to gain 2 energy on top of that. Yes, love that. I love that. My only worry is, right, 1, 2, 3. So they're going to hit me for 3. So I've got to make sure I leave 3 shields. But I'm thinking I can lose 1. So before we enter the install phase for Vigilance, let's play our boosts, okay? And let's play 1 boost first. Let's play Redirect Energy, okay? Remove energy from Vigilance. Okay, we're going to remove the last shield here. And we're going to gain a permanent firepower. We'll take it. And we're going to draw a card, okay? This one gets recycled. So that means it goes on the bottom of our deck. And we gain Human Resilience into our hand. Okay. Now let's resolve the tech. We lost the energy, so we're going to scrap this card. We're going to gain 2 firepower. Great. This one does not say recycle on it, all right? This is one we purchased, so we're going to discard it from the game. Okay? It doesn't have that orange back, so it doesn't go into the scrap pile because this was from our personal starting deck, so it just gets discarded. That's okay, because it did give us 2 more firepower. Okay? And in addition, remember, we got a new card in our hand. We pulled that human resilience. This is also a boost. We're still in the boost playing phase. Recycle when played, and it says, if energy was removed from vigilance this phase, it gains weapons and shields. Wow. So what we'll do is, let's play this boost. All right. I don't know if this is retroactive. That's a good question. Couldn't find the quick answer to that question, so I'm going to say it's not retroactive, all right? I am, however, going to play it because remember, we have another redirect energy, so we can kind of, mitigate this confusion. We're going to remove energy from vigilance. This time it has to come from this shield. Whoops. We are going to gain a firepower. We are going to draw a card into our hand, okay? This boost is done. We're going to recycle it to the bottom of our deck. And now there is no possible question that this boost has been met, right? If energy was removed from vigilance this phase, it was removed before the boost, and now after the boost, we're going to gain another piece of firepower and another shield and recycle it. All right, let's do that. So we'll get back that much needed 3rd shield and yet another piece of firepower. Holy mackerel, vigilance is a beast right now. No shields, so we'll have to work on that. But I'm out of boosts, okay? Well, no, that's not true. Picked up this one, accelerated delivery. This is the one that lets us put a card directly into our hand during requisition. We'll hold on to that one for sure, but we can't play it. So we're done with all of our boosts. Now let's move into the install phase here, and I have 2 pieces of tech to install. This piece of tech gives me, that's right, yet another piece of firepower, and it tells me to draw a card. I'll take the top one, and it is, hooray, we finally have cycled far enough through to the cards we bought, and it's a lovely shield. It's kind of a crappy shield though. This is the scrap shield, so if we lose it, we're gonna lose energy, so it's gonna kind of backfire on us, but that's okay. That's okay, we'll take it, we'll take it. Shields are good. And the last piece of tech we can install, this is nice. This is the APS superstructure. Has an aftermath effect, and it says if we recycle a card from our hand, our ship is going to gain defense. Yes, yes. Oh, I only have this card though. Do I want to recycle it? I don't. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what I might do? I might not install this piece of tech. Only because it is such a bad, it has that blowback factor to it. I might recycle it and gain a piece of shield this way. And then I can hold on to my accelerated delivery. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Let's do that instead. Okay, so let's not install this one, but let's install our APS superstructure and give it an aftermath effect token. Great. Okay, aftermath is white. Want to remember to do that because we're going to save a card here, this one, to recycle. Okay. Accelerated delivery we want to hold on to till next turn. Okay, we're done. We're done. We did it, guys. Wow, vigilance. Now I'm thinking vigilance is going to be able to blow this rugged technivore out of the water. It's a good thing. We're done installing. Again, we can play boosts. We don't want to. Mostly just because we've played everything out of our hands. Yep. Okay, on to battle. No battle effects here.
But you know where there are battle effects, right? Yeah, let's head into the disaster that is the belt and see what pops. Okay, we have 3 battle events from all 3 missions that are running amok here. Remember, we get to resolve them in any order we wish. So let's start with the pheromone problem. And this one says, play the top card of the ship deck into this sector. All right, we're at the fleet limit. Don't have to do it. Ignored. Second one, a gnawing problem. These are the technovores that are eating through everything. And this says remove energy from each ship in this sector. Ha, finally a mission I enjoy. Okay, let's get some tokens here. We're going to take 1 away from the Ravenous. We're going to take 1 away from the Technovore Swarm. The Vicious is at 3, so we'll take 1 away to get him down to 2. And we'll take 1 away from the second Vicious to get him down to 2 as well. Great, great. I love that battle event. The wormhole. Okay. If there are no active strike force ships in other sectors, flip this card. Oh, well, that's horrible. If there are no other active strike force ship in other sectors. Oh man, so this wormhole is going to exist until we enter this area. And that means we're going to keep playing ships here. Well, that's okay. I guess we're at our fleet limit. Okay, I'm not going to flip the wormhole yet. It's still going to destabilize. 3 battle events done. If we want, we could play boosts now. Battle boosts. I don't have any. Let's go blow up some ships. Okay, so clearly the Conclave is going to engage the Ravenous Technovore, and I think this is going to be a pretty quick battle. They fire at each other. The Ravenous Technovore gets off 4 shots. We have 4 shields. We take no damage. We're going to shoot off 6 shots. So the Ravenous Technovore must take 6 points of energy loss with no shields. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is gone. Hallelujah, nicely done. Now, there is up here in the teeny tiny writing department the word bounty. All these cards have it. All the ship opposition ship cards have a bounty. I think they all do. This one in particular is 1 point of weapon energy. So we're going to add that to the Conclave as a bounty for destroying our first Technovore. Now the Vigilance. She's got a little bit of a little nastier fight on her hands, but with this much firepower, I'm thinking she's going to do just fine. All right. So she is going to engage the Rugged Technovore, and 3 shots fired, 3 shields, nothing gets through, and a bajillion shots fired. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minus 4. Okay. So 6 energy loss is going to happen to the Rugged Technovore. Not enough to kill him, unfortunately, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barely hanging on. I'm sticking the 0 on so I don't forget. So even though it feels like you're doing a lot of damage, man, shields play a big role in this game. Don't neglect your shields, is what I've learned. So the Rugged Technovore, he's still hanging out here, but he's limping. He's limping in billowing smoke. Okay. Battle done. Aftermath next. And no surprise, most of it's happening here. But we do have a little bit going on here in the belt. So let's resolve that one first. And remember, it says remove energy from each engaged ship in this sector. And that's going to be enough to pop this guy. Nicely done. Okay, so the Rugged Technovore gets destroyed just by the stuff floating around in the belt. Does have a bounty. We're not going to be able to claim it, however, because technically we weren't the ones to kill him. All right, so he's out of the game. Nice. We, however, are also going to take 1 hit on energy. Bummer. Okay. But remember, we had that boost. I think I discarded it, darn it.
Right, here it was human resilience. Oh, it's only for that phase.
Oh, well, we've moved into a new phase, right? Battle. So our boost from installation,
It isn't going to help us. Good try though, good try. So we will lose one of our shields. So vigilance, I'm a little worried about you here. I mean, I'm liking this, I'm not liking that. But we cleared the belt, we cleared the belt. Oh yes, we're doing great. Okay, so resolve that effect. Vigilance does have a aftermath effect, but it's not our turn yet. We still got to work through this chaos. And remember, we get to do it in any order we wish. So why don't we just run down the board? Okay. If this ship is unengaged, yes. Scrap a piece of tech from a strike force ship in this sector. No effect. Next. Okay, if the top card of any of this sector's station deck is a tech, scrap it. Oh, interesting. This ship gains weapons for each card scrapped this way. This is horrible because, I know I'm not on camera. Wouldn't you know it? We have 2 pieces of tech on here. So these get scrapped. Pulled, flipped, heading to the pile, and that ship's gonna gain 2 energy weapons. Grr. So, oh darn it, this vicious Technivore, man, it really is vicious. So it's gone from a 3 to a 5. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Darn it, darn it. Okay. Ah, now this is interesting. This is interesting because we have 2 of them. So, well, how does that work? Do I now look at the cards now and then scrap? I think so, right? I trigger them one after the other. So now I'm going to trigger this vicious Technivore, and he's going to look at the top of the cards. If it's a tech, scrap it. Guess what? Pulled 2 more tech cards. Makes me so grumpy. So that means flip, discard, and he also is going to move up to a level 5. Wow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, and there was something else, wasn't there? Something else happened when this went empty. What was it? Ah, this one, the gnawing problem. I knew there was one. It says, if any station deck in this sector runs out of cards, flip this card. So we've definitely run out of cards. Let's turn this way. So let's flip the gnawing problem. That sounds horrible. And find out what happens. What do we get? Ooh, it turns into a bloated Technophore. Oh man, with a battle event. So I think we're at our fleet limit. Will that guy be able to appear here? Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, and wouldn't you know, there's an answer. Okay, so I found these, I should probably mention this. I found these really nice frequently asked questions that was put together online. I'll put a link to it down below. And, oh, this is like 1,000 times better than the rule book, except it doesn't have any images. And for those of us who are visual learners, this can be a bit hard to get through, but it actually addresses this particular question. Hallelujah, an answer. I enjoy answers. And this says, if a mission card is also an opposition ship or flips to reveal an opposition ship, it will enter a sector even if it's at the fleet limit. This is because the card is already in play and is not being deployed. All right, that makes sense. I'll buy that. This card was here, right, before the fleet limit happened. So yes, I know we're only supposed to have 4 in each section, but we now have 5, and the master is still coming. Oh, horribleness. We do, however, need to refill this deck as soon as it runs out. We do that. So we're going to take it. Remember, we've discarded all those cards on top. So we're going to get a chance to see them again. And let's... right, and the final aftermath event is for Vigilance, and she gets to recycle a card to get a shield, and we saved this for just that purpose. So let's put that on the bottom of our deck. Gain one of our shields back. And here's the problem, all right? Now, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a lot of firepower here, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm really worried about this section. You know, obviously. Okay, so we could play boosts if we want. We don't have any to play.
So we have to move now into the final step, which is any unengaged ship is going to flip cards, right?
So we don't have any ships here.
Good. No ships here. Good.
La 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 la, craziness, right? Okay.
So this sector is going to become overrun.
And what that means is we have 1, 2, 3, 4,
5 ships here. We only have 3 station decks, so you flip as many as you can.
Okay. So we will flip 1 from the top of all of these. 1, 2, 3.
We're going to have to resolve these effects. Then we're going to have to flip this card from contested to overrun, which is going to trigger the master. Let's walk through that.
All right, so the first thing that happens is a focused firing, which is a boost. Scrap 1 tech installed on each strike force ship in the sector with the most strike force ships. Interesting, interesting. Well, we have, there is no most because there's only 2 of us. So do I get a pick?
Good question.
Well, the rules say if it's, you know, one way or the other, then we get to decide. So I'm going to say let's scrap a piece of tech from the Conclave because she doesn't have any tech. So this one isn't going to affect us. Scrap it. Next one, another boost. Scrap a tech installed on a strike force ship in this sector. And remove from this sector. All right, so we're not here. Again, not going to affect us. And the last one is another boost. Scrap a tech installed on a strike force ship in this sector. Blah, blah, blah. We don't have any. Okay, discarded. Empty again, so I'm going to do a quick shuffle and refill. Remember, the sector was overrun, so we will have to flip this area. Move all my little mission cards out of the way here, and let's see what's on the other side. Probably something horrible, right? What's it going to be? Ooh, each opposition ship in this sector with less than 4 energy is going to gain shields. All right, not too bad. Not too bad because that's during the travel phase. Okay. Because these guys are so powerful, that's not even going to trigger. Darn it. Okay. Okay. So we flipped this. We are overrun. And finally, the Technivore infestation says the first time a sector is overrun, move the Hive Master marker to that sector, because that's what we need. More stuff happening here. And flip the panel. Ooh, okay. What happens here? Ooh, Hive Master Assault. Whenever a card is scrapped, we place it under this panel. During the requisition phase, we scrap tech installed on any strike force ships here. Horrible. During the battle phase, we're going to remove energy from strike force ships equal to the number of cards under this panel. So the longer we wait, the stronger this battle ability is going to get. And finally, like that's not enough, in the aftermath phase, if we ever get 5 or more cards, we move all of them from this card to the scrap, and we remove 2 energy from every strike force ship in the sector. I don't like this guy. What's his strength? Well, the number of players +4, so he only starts at +6. And his defense is going to be number of players +6. 8. Ew. Ew. So he is now also on the board. Remember now, the mission cards go out of play for the most part. We're probably not going to be pulling any more missions.
I'm just looking for the silver lining here, guys, because
this got ugly fast. And this is the worst part. We need to kind of lure some of these smaller ships out, right? If we could pick off a few of these, we would stand a chance. In particular, these vicious technovores that keep eating the tech and getting more and more weaponry from it. That's horrible. But this card is killing me right here because of its travel effect. If we are in this sector and we move away, all right? So if we come in here and we try to engage maybe one of these guys somehow, and we leave, every opposition ship in this sector is going to follow us. Remember, this is the pheromone cards. So if we show up here, we're going to release some sort of crazy, you know, Pied Piper pheromone. So when we go to another sector, they're all going to follow us. Then we flip this card and it falls out of play. Of course, there's going to be an effect on the back, and I have no idea what that is. But there isn't an easy way to pop in here, grab one of these guys, and scoop them out. I think we're going to have to, I'm going to have to look at this, but I think we're going to have to clear this mission out first. We're going to have to go in here and deal with the pheromones. We're going to have to move everyone out of here into another sector, which will become, of course, say it with me, Overrun. And then, and only then, can we pick off some of these guys, except now we're down to 2 sectors Overrun and only 1 place left to hide. This is horrible. This is horrible. What a horrible game. All right, that's what I'm thinking just on a quick review of the cards. Maybe there's a path out I just haven't seen yet, but this pheromone thing is really tripping me up. And we've got to get rid of these vicious technovores. They're just going to keep eating through the tech here. Okay, well, the Hive Master has arrived. The unstable wormhole is in existence. The pheromones are wreaking havoc in the area. We've also managed to feed a technovore to the point of it becoming bloated, as well as ravenous, swarming, vicious technovores descending upon our space stations. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. See you next time.